Hello guys and welcome to Odds on Bundesliga, last match day, 34th match day, and still some things to decide, so let's analyze all the games with Radek Vegas. Remember to leave your comments, press the like and subscribe. Last match day in the Bundesliga. Hello Radek, all games on Saturday, eh?
Yes, and I'm looking forward. It's getting exciting, and I'm happy to, talk about this game day with you now.
Yeah, there are many games with nothing to play for. It's going to be tricky to bet on that, but some interesting games like the first one, Leipzig, Bielefeld, Leipzig. In this case, Bielefeld going towards Bundesliga 2. Leipzig still need to win this game to go to the Champions League. They had a good reaction, thrashed Augsburg 4-0 after being kicked out of the Europa League by Rangers. I guess, Radek, everyone is expecting here Leipzig to win this game.
Yes, of course, and I don't think that Bielefeld can make a surprise here because Leipzig needs the points, and that's why it's hard for Bielefeld anyway, because they are 3 points behind Stuttgart, and I think Stuttgart also can make points, as we've seen last game day against Bayern Munich, and that's more or less a win for Leipzig. But as we know, Bielefeld will put everything they have into the game. I can see a goal for them maybe. So if we see both teams to score, we get odds of 1.85. So that's my bet in this case.
Okay, talking about games without anything to play for. One, for instance, first one, Augsburg, Furth. Augsburg, they can celebrate the salvation against Furth. Is going to be their last game in Bundesliga 2. Very bad season, of course, for Furth, but perhaps since this is the last game, we see many goals. We see like kind of a goodbye for Furth.
Yeah, and I also say that Augsburg had a very bad season, so that they are not into relegation or didn't have to fight till the end. It's just a sign that this year Bundesliga was really bad, that there were some even worse teams than Augsburg, and Furth was one of them. And I don't think that Augsburg is the clear favorite in this game, so they have not the biggest motivation. Furth scored a goal against Dortmund. They managed to improve their defense during the season at least, and didn't get too many goals at the second since 2022, and that's why I think it's could be a closer game, and at the end, maybe we see Asian handicap value on Furth, Asian handicap +1 on Furth, but I won't put money on that. I just, tell you what I think about it, and that's why I won't put money on it. You shouldn't either, and that's why let's go to the more important games.
Okay, let's flag Asian handicap +1 is odds around 2.02. By the way, do you place bets in these kind of games that there is nothing to play for?
Not really. It depends on the odds, and in this case, I really don't bet on teams I don't trust, like Furth, and that's why even if the odds are kind of attractive, I won't do it. And if the favorite has low odds, I put my money also not on this. And I'm looking in the last games on the goal markets, as we can do between Gladbach and Hoffenheim. Both have very disappointing seasons behind them, but I think both can score goals. And as we've seen in the last Hoffenheim games, there were 6 games against Leverkusen, 6 goals against Leverkusen, and 7 goals against Freiburg, 4 goals against Frankfurt, and now at Mönchengladbach they also should score some goals. I don't think that Gladbach is the favorite in this game, but I would say that both teams to score is an option. But as I say it, the bookmakers also know it and give you just poor odds of 1.4. That's no option to bet on. And betting on over 3.7 goals is also very bad. So might seem like a good game, but if you don't get the odds on it, just ignore it. And in this case, I would say the only option could be that Hoffenheim is not gonna lose this game. Maybe double chance on Hoffenheim has some value, 1.77. Yeah,
Okay.
but I think the players want to end the season that they can show that they are not that they played most of the season.
Only one defeat in the last 8 games for Gladbach. They had a very poor season, but at least at the end they are doing things better. For Hoffenheim is the opposite. I think they had a good season, always around European spots, but at the end, they are losing many games because, as you mentioned before, Radek, they are conceding many goals. Let's jump into a game with a lot to play for. We have Leverkusen. Freiburg, finally Leverkusen will play in the Champions League next season. They secure their Champions League spot after beating Hoffenheim, 3 consecutive victories. Good, I guess, to have Leverkusen back into the Champions League, but Freiburg still need to fight. Radek, we don't know which competition they will play in Europe next season because I was shocked by that defeat, 1-4 against Union Berlin.
Yes, and Freiburg also was shocked, and their coach was really upset because there was a goal. They scored 2 goals, and both were video supervised, and the first one was not given because the ball was here, and and it's at the end, if you get 4 goals, maybe it's not the decisive thing, but if you get a goal in a hot moment, you lose momentum, and then you don't care about the rest of the game. So that was the case between Freiburg and Union Berlin. And the really bad thing about it is that Freiburg conceded 3 goals or more in the last 3 games. So they had the best defense in the league, but in the end, when they can go to the Champions League, they get goals and goals and goals. And so they lost against Union Berlin, which was kind of the neck breaker for them in the Champions League. And we know Leverkusen is not 100% into pressure to win this game, but as we've seen Leverkusen in a good shape in the last games, and Patrick Schick is scoring again. They want to say goodbye to their fans and make a good last game. I don't see a lot of chances for Freiburg, and I'm really surprised of the odds, because we have balanced odds of 2.6 for Leverkusen at home, and I think this is poor value, and I don't see Leverkusen losing against this really not weak Freiburg, but a kind of upset Freiburg, that they are mentally not ready for that, because they are too young and too unexperienced to play for Champions League spots, and at the end they fucked it up, and that's I think that's a mental problem now for them. And Leverkusen not gonna lose this game, so Asian handicap 0 on Leverkusen, odds 1.9 is the best bet I can see maybe on this whole game day.
Freiburg, they still have to play the cup final, so still they can do, of course, a great season. They can qualify for the Champions League, for the Europa League, or for the conference, actually. We have to see that in the final game. Next game is Dortmund-Hertha. We know that Dortmund, they will finish second in the Bundesliga. This is going to be the last game for Haaland, going to Man City, but for Hertha still they have to seal the salvation. Is almost there with a point. They will stay mathematically in the Bundesliga. Good news, I guess, for a historical team that have to improve a lot for next season, Radek, because for 2 seasons in a row with a huge budget, they are struggling to keep the category.
Yeah, for sure. This is one of the best proofs that you can't buy success with money, and even Manchester City can't buy success with money because they throw in $1 billion within the last years, and they are not able to win the Champions League.
That's the good thing about football, Radek, actually.
Yeah, I hope, but I was very happy to see them losing and not going to the final. And same thing here with Hertha, but at the end they made the right decision, hiring one of the best coaches ever in Bundesliga with Felix Magath, and he makes the difference. And I don't think they need to win this game, because we have Bielefeld maybe losing at Leipzig, and Stuttgart has a hard time playing at home versus Cologne, who wants also be in the international spots maybe. And that's why Hertha is kind of safe, 3 points before Stuttgart, but 1 point against Dortmund would be really great. I won't bet on it, because I think, you can't bet on Hertha against really good opponents like Dortmund, and I won't bet on Dortmund. So the maximum I would say is also here, we would say both teams to score, as Hertha has to score, but the odds are not really great, 1.58 or 1.6, so not good enough for me. And on the other hand, I like the draw. We get odds of 5.25 on a draw. Hertha has to make a point. Dortmund is not in need to win this game. So maybe this can be an option for really small amount of money. So maybe 20% of a regular bet, and then this is a kind of gambling. But anyways, not really great odds in this game.
All right, next game is Mainz Frankfurt, nothing to play for in this game, but overall I think it's gonna be a very good season for both teams, because Mainz, they beat Hertha and Bayern Munich in the last 2 games, so they are ending well the season. Last season they struggled to keep the category, so good season for them in the middle of the table. And for Frankfurt, what to say, no? They are all waiting for that Europa League final.
Yes, and it's kind of different thing between great in Europe, bad in Germany. So Frankfurt had a really bad season in the Bundesliga. So being behind Mainz is kind of the worst thing they can achieve, because they are so close together, these two cities, and they are rivals. And in this game, we have always a huge rivalry, and I'm not sure why the bookies say Mainz is a favorite with 1.7 or 1.65 in odds. That makes no sense, because Frankfurt is able to beat Mainz anyway, and I think that's a kind of value betting on double chance on Frankfurt. We get odds of 2.23 or 2.2 around, compare odds on Oddspedia, and then most likely we see a draw with a lot of goals, and that's why the best odds on Frankfurt double chance here. Okay,
looking forward to seeing that final Rangers Frankfurt. I'm sure both supporters are going to be very happy, because both teams have a large supporter mass. Next game, Stuttgart-Cologne, much more to play for in this game, with Stuttgart ready to play the play-out, I guess. And it's going to be a tough one, actually, to stay in the Bundesliga. 3 draws in the last 4 games. And the problem for them, if they want to win the 3 points, is that also Cologne, they have to win this game to go to the conference. They almost lost every single chance with that surprising defeat, I would say, against Wolfsburg.
Wolfsburg is not that bad, but at the end we expected Cologne to win the game. Ridiculously, the the audience was on the field and everyone was celebrating after losing 1-0 against Wolfsburg because they're safe into European spots. If it's the Europe League or the Interconference League, that's the decision now at Stuttgart. But
because of the cup, of course, there is the cup Leipzig Freiburg. Yeah, there is one spot more.
Yes, and it's kind of ridiculous celebrating a team who lost 0-1. And for Cologne, it's amazing because they were almost relegated last season, and now they made such a big step from position 16, where Stuttgart is now, to position 7, or maybe even better if they can surpass Union Berlin on the last game day. So Steffen Baumgart made about 10 positions better, so this is great achievement. And as Cologne has a really high tradition in German soccer and a lot of awesome fans, everyone says it's good for them. But in this game, it's really tough to say, because I've been watching Stuttgart versus Bayern Munich, and I think Bayern Munich was giving the point away because they didn't need it, and kind of a gift for Stuttgart. Kind of not really fair for the other teams. But I don't think it was a really good game of Stuttgart here. It was just a bad game of Bayern Munich. That's why Cologne won't allow Stuttgart to win this game, and that Stuttgart is favored with 2.2 in this game. I really don't see that, and I would say we have a lot of value if we go on double chance on Cologne, 1.73. It's not that great, these odds, but we have international team like Cologne versus almost relegated team like Stuttgart. So I think this can't end as a draw, but more chances for Cologne at the end.
All right. Another team that is going to play in Europe next season is Union Berlin. They are ending up the season against Bochum, another team that is improving season after season. Last season, we saw them playing in the conference. Now, they will probably play in the Europa League, and they are super favorites to play against and to win against Bochum, another team that made a great season. Remember that they were promoted in summer.
Yes, and we have some really interesting teams in the Bundesliga in this season, and both of them are under these teams, because I expected Bochum just to go down again, and they made some really, really awesome games, winning against Bayern Munich and Dortmund recently, and so they deserve it to stay in the league. And I think Union Berlin is the team in the Bundesliga who makes the most points out of their budget, the most points per budget spent on player. And this is also a really, really a good thing what this club is able to do compared to the other city club, Hertha, which has way more money but less supporters and less motivated players and all the things. That's why I think Union Berlin is gonna winning this game to have chance to maybe secure the Europe League spot. But the odds are not great. We only get odds of 1.44, and that's too bad. Betting against a team like Bochum, as I said, they are always good for some surprise. And at the end, I think, not betting here is an option, but we can also consider building a double bet out of two smaller bets like this, 1.44 on Union Berlin, combined with another odds like this, maybe, as I said, Leipzig at Bielefeld. We should get double bet with odds around 2.
Okay, tell me later in the ACCA. First, let's see if you find good odds in the last game. Wolfsburg, Bayern Munich, both teams are on holidays. Wolfsburg, at least, they had a terrible season. Remember that they were playing in Champions League, but they are ending well the season. You mentioned that Bayern, they are in a giveaway mode. Perhaps it's a good option also to place a bet on Wolfsburg or a double chance, for instance.
Yeah. But Wolfsburg has nothing to play for, and why should Bayern Munich give points to them? Maybe because of one of their main sponsors is Audi from Bayern Munich, and Audi belongs to the Volkswagen concern, and Volkswagen is building the whole city of Wolfsburg. So that's a reason, but anyway, Wolfsburg doesn't need the points. That's why should Bayern lose here? Or could be maybe a draw if Wolfsburg has their best game, but I like the odds on Bayern Munich 1.6 after they didn't win the last two games. If Nagelsmann is not winning this game, there is a kind of a bad touch to this season, because he didn't make it to the half final of the Champions League. He didn't make it to the cup final. He just won the championship because Dortmund was that weak, and that's not really good for a coach. And then ending the season with a not win against a team like Wolfsburg is really not that what Bayern Munich should do. That's why Bayern Munich with 1.6 as a win is good enough. I know I told this also against Stuttgart, but I didn't expect that Bayern Munich is really cheating and giving away points to Stuttgart, because they're both in the south. I don't know really why, but I remember that a lot of players and in the past went from Stuttgart to Bayern Munich and otherwise, so they're kind of connected. And the next time Bayern wants to buy a player from Stuttgart, Stuttgart will say, okay, let's make it cheaper because you gave us the points. And that's why they lost the points against Stuttgart. And now against Wolfsburg, I don't think they will do the same. Long story short, they will win.
Okay, it's not enough, I guess, for Nagelsmann or for Bayern only winning the Bundesliga. We take that for granted. So not a good season, I guess, for the debut for Nagelsmann in Bayern Munich. Then Radek, last ACCA of this season.
Yes, and I want to risk more and have bigger odds, because I really back up Frankfurt, Asian handicap 0 at Mainz. We get odds of 3.65, and I would say Leverkusen is not gonna losing against Freiburg, and we get odds on Asian handicap 0 of 1.9, and combining these two, I would say we get odds of 6.9, and we also can combine Bayern Munich win with Union Berlin win, and we get odds of 2.2.
Well, we started in August, Radek, long time ago. We analyzed every single game of every single match day, 34 in the Bundesliga. That's a lot of games, that's a lot of time, so I hope our audience enjoy it. Let us know, of course, in the comments, every comment, and hopefully we are back for the 22-23 with Schalke back in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, also really, really interesting season, ups and downs, but as we've seen, it's one of the most interesting leagues in world soccer, the Bundesliga, and everything can happen here. So that's very, very interesting to talk about it and to analyze, but not always easy to bet on it. And I hope we did a good job. So if you liked it, press the thumb button and enjoy your holidays.
Thank you. Let me know what you think about the tips given by Radek, last tips of this season, of course, in the comment section. Don't forget also to press the like and subscribe. Let me know also what do you want to see in the next season of the Bundesliga. Of course, thanks for all the season with us. And remember also that we have a podcast for you. Auf Wiedersehen.